Did you know that 1 to 2% of people deal with OCD every single year? I mean, that's millions struggling with this misunderstood condition. So I wanted to clear up some confusion and talk about what OCD really is. No fancy doctor talk. I don't like that stuff. Just real talk. These are the things I wish I knew earlier. Easy. So why is OCD so misunderstood? Well, it's not just about being super clean or organized. I mean, that's what TV shows you, and that's way off. OCD is like having a bully in your brain. Just won't be quiet. It's not quirky. It's not cute. It's a tough thing to live with. It isn't a walk in the park. It's a daily battle that can flip somebody's world upside down. But here's the good news. I mean, there is hope. By the end of this video, you'll see OCD in a whole new light. You'll learn if you might actually have it and the right treatment that can change everything. Ready to understand it? Let's do this. Let's tackle this big question. What if everything you thought you knew about OCD was wrong? Most people think it's about being super clean and organized, but here's the kicker. It's actually about feeling trapped in a never-ending cycle of fear. Your brain is like a broken record, playing the same scary song over and over and over and over. And all you're trying to do is to get it to go away. So let's break it down. OCD has two main parts: obsessions and compulsions. Obsessions are those unwanted thoughts that pop into your head and they won't leave. They're like uninvited guests to a party that just refuse to go home. Compulsions are those things you try to do to get those thoughts to go away. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It just makes things worse. This is what you typically see on TV, where people are washing their hands, or they're tapping something, or they're repeating a word. They're just trying to get that feeling to go away. The real kicker with OCD is the doubt. It's not just about worry, it's a constant what if that just eats away at you. Somebody told me once, I know it's illogical, and I know the thing that I think is bad that's going to happen isn't going to happen. Like, I already know it's not going to happen, but I can't stop thinking about it. Think about that for yourself. How frustrating would that be for you to know something almost with a surety, but still you doubt it? I'm wearing a shirt right now that is blue. Pretty sure it's blue, but I could doubt it. I could say, no, it's actually purple. It's red. It's green. But I know it's blue, but my brain keeps telling me it's a different color. Why? As you can tell, OCD is pretty exhausting. People often spend more than an hour a day stuck in their thoughts and rituals. One person called OCD the thief of my time. It steals time, energy, and really just peace of mind. But here's something that might surprise you. People with OCD usually know their thoughts don't make sense, but knowing that something is irrational doesn't make it go away. It's like being afraid of heights. You can know that you're safe, but your brain still freaks out. I play a lot of VR games. I don't know why. I love video games. I know it's not real. It's just a thing on my head. But there are moments in a game where I'm like, this feels so real. Like, I could fall. I could die. I could, whatever it is in the game, it feels so real. Even though logically I know, I'm just sitting in a chair, I've got this thing over here, I got some headphones on. It's interesting what our brain can do. The compulsions for OCD are not fun. Nobody enjoys washing their hands until they bleed, checking the door 50 times, asking their spouse if it's okay that they did this, if they're a good person, if they're praying. These are all those compulsions. OCD can latch onto almost anything. Sure, some people worry about germs and order, but there are so many other things. Others might have intrusive thoughts about harming somebody they love, even though they know they'd never do it. Some people get stuck on religious or moral obsessions. The content of the thoughts or theme isn't what matters. It's the anxiety and the cycle of trying to control these thoughts and figure it out and make sure certainty gains certainty is the part that keeps people trapped. OCD is like a chameleon. It can take on so many different forms, and it can switch from one day to another, 1 month to another, 1 year to another. One day could be hand washing, and then all of a sudden I'm worried about my relationship, and then I'm worried about hurting somebody, and then I'm worried about this or that or that. And you've probably heard this before, but many people, if not all, have intrusive thoughts. But not everybody has OCD. My buddy Dr. Ali Matu, he was on my channel, said OCD is not a choice. It is not a preference. It is not about being anal. OCD is a biologically based problem. Most people tend to see it as like, this person just is really tidy, really clean. They really prefer things to be a certain way, but there it is right there. Prefer. There's a difference. Somebody prefers something and someone is terrorized by it because they feel like they have to have it that way. All right, so then how do you know if you have OCD or not? Obviously, the best way is to see a trained professional and receive this diagnosis. I mean, I've got tests as well. They're in the description, but don't use them as a diagnosis. They can be more of a guideline to help you on your way. But here's the treatment. But one thing I look for OCD is how much time am I spending thinking, ruminating about something. It's usually a what if about the future, or maybe something I did in the past. I'm thinking about it a lot. and I always have to do something to get this feeling or emotion or anxiety to go away. Whether it's washing my hands, researching online, asking certain questions to people, maybe I have to count to the number 5. Who knows? But I have to do something. And once I do that, I feel good for a second, and then I got to do it again. And then maybe I have the same thought, even though I've already thought through it so many times. Think about your value system. It's probably attached to that if you have OCD. Did you just get in a relationship and now you're questioning that? Did you just have a child? Now you're wondering if you could hurt them? Are you really getting back into religion and now you're questioning if you're even a good person? Do you wonder if you even exist? What about that thing in the past that you did? Never bothered you till now. All of a sudden it's a huge, huge deal and your brain will not stop thinking about it. So here's the treatment. You might think about talking about your problems as the way to solve it. I mean, that's what we've been taught, but talk therapy actually is not going to help. I'm so sorry. We can talk, but we're gonna do exposures. That's what it's called. The therapy you've seen in movies, someone sits on that couch and they're like, let me tell you about my childhood. No, that doesn't cut it for OCD, because OCD doesn't work with logic and understanding. I wish it would, that'd be so cool. So if talk therapy doesn't work, we're doing those exposures, exposure and response prevention, or ERP for short. It's all about facing those fears. I know it sounds scary, but it's the thing that works. ERP is like learning to swim by jumping into the deep end, facing your fears head on. You're trusting in yourself that you're gonna be just fine. You're gonna do the things that scare you over and over and over and over again. And each time you resist the urge to do a compulsion, you get stronger. Your brain learns, wait a second, I told you were in danger and you didn't follow what I said, but somehow you're still okay? Maybe I'll stop bothering you about this. But it doesn't just happen the first time. We gotta practice it over and over and over and over and over. Let's say you're afraid of dogs. ERP would have you hang out with dogs. Starting small, working your way up. Each time you resist the urge to run away, look away, go like this, hold anything to do protecting, we're not doing that. You might use responses to really hone that in. Maybe, maybe not. Those are the magic words. Maybe, maybe not. When you have those thoughts. I don't know. I could say, sure, I'd never do this thing. I'm a good person. I would never act on those thoughts. But why do you have to keep saying that? I thought you knew it. That's the thing. Since logic doesn't work, we don't know it. So that's why we're saying maybe, maybe not. It actually is not saying you have to accept that you could be this person or whatever your fear is. What it's really saying is, I don't know the future and you don't know it either, brain. So stop. I'm willing to tolerate the uncertainty over and over and over again and only react when there's a problem. Where's the problem? Nothing's happened yet. I don't care if my brain says it could happen. Nothing's happened. We don't need to protect to make sure it doesn't happen. I know what you're thinking. Sounds hard. I know, it is hard, but it actually literally rewires your brain. So cool. So it's not analyzing the past, why you have OCD. It's about changing how your brain is going to react to that present moment. If seeing a therapist isn't an option for you, I have my Master Your OCD online course, step-by-step guide on how to treat your own OCD on your own terms. I'll link that down below. Some people ask me about medications. They can help. Usually we use SSRIs alongside treatment. One thing most people don't know are higher dosages are often necessary for OCD. Definitely talk to your prescriber about that. I mean, those are the basics to OCD. Remember, it can take on any form, can even make somebody feel disgust, perfectionism, harm, question their identity, their existence. But the cool part is you can knock out any of these. Doesn't matter what the fear is. You just keep living your life. Like, seriously. Just live your life exactly how you want to live it. Not often is treatment in itself. Make it worthwhile. Use the responses. I really like the maybe, maybe nots, but I also love just like totally throwing it right back at the brain and just agreeing with a threat. Cool. Yeah, I guess I could do that thing. Ooh, I'm so scared. Yeah, I might. I don't know. Cool. If it happens though, guess we'll figure it out. Yep, maybe I'll get sick. Maybe I do this thing. Maybe God's disappointed in me. I don't know. Cool. Oh, ooh, sweet. But I'm going to go do this thing I wanted to do because it's on my agenda. So I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go on the date with my spouse. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go ice skating. Whatever the fears are. Just go live life. If you want to level up your OCD skills even more, watch the video on the screen. Just trust me, your brain will thank you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. These are the things I wish I knew earlier. Easy. They're just trying to get that feeling to go away.